Well, I sure hope we can rescue those villages. After all, I heard there was some great prizes there, right? Anyway, this is Colonel M, and today we are going to be doing Chapter 13, and I'll be real, I'm kind of excited to show this one off. We've made a few adjustments, but the thing is that we did get the Speed plus 3 meal in order to cheap out a little bit on some skill. We would need Speed plus 3 inherited in order to double some of the things here. Apologies in advance if I sound really off. It's really cold in my apartment because they haven't turned on the boiler. So, turn 1, we are going to drag back Aymr here. And then we're going to have Citrine use the Freeze Staff on this Swordmaster. This Swordmaster kind of needs to sit tight for a little bit, so we're actually going to freeze him for a couple turns. We're going to have Aymr go ahead and strike this Barbarian here with the longbow, and then we're going to canter one right and one down. We actually need canter here in order to reach our destination. We're going to have Marin attack this Barbarian over here, and now we're going to have Tamara break this junk. Now, Ike has a skill called Demolish, which will help with demolishing some of the high HP structures later on, but we won't need it right now. Annette will hand axe this particular Barbarian, and then we're going to have Alyr start moving east, and we're going to use Illum and then canter over here to right. Then we're going to have Ivy go ahead and rewarp over here right next to Alyr. The secondary goal I had with this particular chapter was to try to get as much EXP into Ivy as possible. Since we got an extra rewarp from the well, we should be able to do this without having too much of a waste. Now we need to get Chloe over. With drag back, and then we have Pandreo howl his way over here to warp. This is where 7 move Chloe is going to start mattering a lot, as well as having canter. We're going to use Raging Storm on this particular Sword Flier here. That crit mattered, by the way. And once that's KO'd, we're going to move one right and one down. Then we're going to move over here and use a different combat art that we haven't used yet. Fallen Star. Fallen Star uses Fail Not as the attack for the weapon. And then we're going to move to right, and then we also gain a buff for Evade, to where enemies will not be able to strike us if they want to. So I'm not sure what these bandits are talking. Aw, no! That had like 1,000,000 gold there. Actually, it's just an elixir, I think. So, in this turn, we're going to have Citrine attacked by the Sword Fighter. And we actually need the Sword Fighter to attack her because we need to make sure that Aymr has as much pressure laid off him as possible. That's because of the Sword Flier here, which has 13 speed. Normally we would need Speed Taker, but since we had the Speed plus 3 meal, we don't need to worry about that. You also saw the Sword Flier suicide into Aymr. So, for turn 2, we're going to move Alyr over here and use Bonded Shield. And then we're going to use Alyr's Illum with Ivy in order to gain as much experience as possible. Now we're going to show roughly what we're going to be targeted by. We're going to be targeted by this, and... oh, right, this. Yeah. All of those things look very daunting, and they are going to want to attack Ivy because a lot of them can KO in one hit. Now we're going to move Chloe over here. And this is where being a Griffin Knight matters. We're going to use Rewarp, and then with this Rewarp unfortunately breaking, we're also going to move to right. And then that's going to attract these 3, while also avoiding the Elwyn Mage that's over here. So, now we're going to go back to Panette. Panette is going to 1-round KO this particular Corrupted Barbarian. Or should I say Axe Fighter. Then we're going to have Tamara actually do something for once, and use Great Aether over here. Marin's going to visit this village, which has a Seraph Robe. And from here, we're going to do a couple RNG shenanigans, but we're also going to try to optimize experience if we can. We're going to have Pandreo actually use Freeze here. He's a little less accurate, but the thing is that he gets quite a bit of experience from it. Then we're going to have Citrine use Physic over here. The thing is, because Citrine is such a low level, she actually gains quite a bit of EXP with the Physics Staff. We're going to have Kagetsu finish off the Sword Fighter, and then he's going to sit right in front of this Swordmaster. Then we're going to have Zelkov go ahead and attack this particular Sword Flier, and then finally we're going to have Wow, I almost said Alfred. I mean Aymr. go ahead and finish this off and move one down and one right. This enemy phase is hectic. I'm just going to say it straight up. So, the thing is that Tetchie has a pretty low chance to hit. Totchie, on the other hand, has like a 12% chance to hit. So we're going to actually go ahead and KO these targets up here with Ivy. And we're going to have Aymr actually proc Bonded Shield a little more than normal. That crit kinda sucked, but we just only lose like 4 EXP out of it. Kagetsu's going to chip at this, and then Totchie's going to start swinging at Chloe. The thing is, because of how Fate's RN works, 14% is 14%, which kind of sucks. So we kind of have to do RNs a little differently on the previous turn, which is why you saw me skip all the way over and then go right back to, I believe it was roughly after Citrine used the staff. Oh, actually it was after, yep, right after that. We're still going to have Kagetsu do the same thing. So unfortunately I did repeat that action again for no reason, but that's fine. The one thing we're going to do different here is we're going to have Aymr attack this Pegasus first. And then we're going to have Zelkov finish it off. Aymr doesn't need any of the EXP here. We just need to make sure that we can get through turn 2 reliably. Reliably in quotation marks, of course. But as you see, like the hit rates are dangerously low. This is actually because of Lucina Engrave. But the weird thing is, we actually can't go too high in evade. So that's why she doesn't have anything like a speed wing on her. You do need 22 speed in order to double the Tetchie and Totchie combo. 37 attack to crit plus hit kill Totchie. And then you need 21 speed up here in order to double the Silver Axe Wyvern Knight. So now we're going to have Totchie come over here, and hopefully the RNs are a little different. On top of those dodges, we have to have a crit and a hit in order to take out one of the health bars. There is a pretty high chance of crit because we forged this killing edge all the way to +5. But as you see, there's those very dangerous low numbers, and the thing is, if I was too high in evade, that Poleaxe Barbarian would actually go right above Totchie and make the turn 3 that much more complicated. So, as you see, we finish off the Sword Flyers, and then we only have the Great Axe Wyvern left, which is more than fine. Everything else moves, and now we are on to turn 3. We Great Aether here. This chips out the Warrior as well as the Blade Sword Fighter. Now it's Amber's time to shine. We need Aymr because he has Canter and he has Knight Strength. We need to use Astra Storm, and with Astra Storm we need to target at Tetchie. So, the reason that we need Tetchie targeted here is because we need to use Raging Storm again. Yes, actually we are back online with the 3 houses. So, here is where things get dicey. The hit rate is a little shaky, but it's high enough. But the thing is, we have to dodge, or we have to dodge that Sword Pegasus, which is a lot harder to dodge because it's a silver weapon. After we smash, we actually can crit kill Tetchie here. This eliminates the need of worrying about the whole 1-2 range. Furthermore, we move 1 left and 1 down, so the Elwyn Mage doesn't target us. Now, thanks to a little bit of AI manipulation, what we're going to do is we're going to have Tamara go ahead and strike this particular sword fighter here. And targeting that sword fighter now allows Ivy to just reach with Physic and heal Tamara. Now I know what you're thinking. So this Wyvern here is probably going to be lost in EXP, but the thing is, that is not the case. We're going to use Bonded Shield once more, or actually I lied, we don't need to use Bonded Shield due to Smash Weapon. We do use Physic though, so that way we can heal Ivy. This doesn't matter too much, we're just doing it for the experience portion of it. Now the reason why Ivy was targeted was not only because that some of them could potentially OHKO her, It's also because Aymr had the Machian grade Folkvanger. So that way enemies will prioritize with hitting Ivy because they have a higher chance to hit. So after Citrine heals, we're going to have Kagetsu Great Lance here. We mostly use the Great Lance just to take some chip damage, and then that allows us to use Physic with Pandreo on Kagetsu. And because Kagetsu is still a pretty high level, we should be able to get some extra EXP out of this. Now, from here we just have to make sure that Aymr is protected. So we're going to have Marin attack this warrior, and then we're going to have Panette finish it off. We can have her finish it off with this hand axe here without too many issues. We also have Knightly Escort, which is helping our hit just a little bit. Finally, there's unfortunately not a lot for Zelkov to do here, so we're going to use Stiletto and break this junk here, or at least attempt to, just to show that there's that 50 HP jump. So, going back to the whole AI thing, the Wyvern will go after Ivy first. I believe it's because they do see a potential to Oko. And then Totchie will go ahead and go into Chloe, and so long as we get the double dodge and a crit plus hit, we should be able to finish this chapter in 3 turns. This has been Colonel M, thank you for watching.
Did we forget to rescue something?